This is the kind of small town that exists in movies. Like, people write songs about places like this. So I'm here in Emerald, which is where I grew up. I'm at the old boathouse right now. There used to be like paddle boats here that you used to be able to use for like $15. They are now gone, went out of business. Over the summer and towards the end of last year, I looked around here. I looked around my hometown and I realized everything's kind of gone. And I think that happens to everybody. Like, you finish high school, everybody kind of goes off and does their own thing. And then what was fun about your hometown is suddenly not there anymore. Like, out of all my friends that I had in high school, and I loved them so much in high school, genuinely, like, they were my favorite people in the entire world. I genuinely thought that they would be in my life forever. And the only person I still have left in my life is April.
Is it good? My hair's in my face.
April, rate your ice cream out of 10.
I don't know. It's an ice cream out of ice cream.
I haven't been back here in about a month. Just being here I've only been here this morning. I got here last night. And just being here this morning, I'm realizing how much of my whimsy was because I lived here. And I think moving to the city, there's a lot of aspects of me that have, I think, not been as strong as the whimsical aspect of my personality being one of them. And I'm realizing that aspect of myself was because I got to come back to this forest every night. I also am realizing how beautiful it is. And I think the last year that I lived here, which was last year, I kind of started to hate living here quite a bit because it is so far away, and I always felt like my life was happening somewhere else without me whenever I was here. And now that I do live where I feel like my life was happening, which is in the city, I now understand why I loved growing up here so much.
Wow, look at those apples.
This was a really great place to grow up, and I've always said that. And I knew though that I would never stay because I do love it here, genuinely. It is such a beautiful place. It is the most perfect place to spend a childhood and to spend your adolescence.
It's so cute.
And I finished high school and I went straight into film school, and my life pretty much completely changed after that. I didn't have a lot of time to see all my high school friends who I once loved so much and thought the world of. And now, 2 years later, or like almost 2.5 years later, I haven't talked to any of them in months. Like, months. And I also, a lot of them, I don't really plan on ever talking to them again, which is really sad, actually. I am actually very sad about that.
No, that's the dog I saw before. I know him.
And I don't know if the reason that I don't talk to any of those people anymore is because we just grew apart, and it was just a natural trajectory of how relationships like that fall apart, or if it was because they decided that they didn't want to be friends with me anymore, or if maybe subconsciously I decided, or I always knew that I didn't want to be friends with them anymore, and like this was always gonna happen, or if maybe it was like maybe I should have put in more work into those friendships, and then maybe I would still have all of those friends. I don't know. But I also do think that when I finished high school, there was a part of me that knew that I was only friends with a lot of those people because I saw them every day. And I think once you take that away, you kind of realize that I actually don't have much to talk to you about. We actually don't have anything in common. We actually have never had anything in common. You know what I mean? That was like 90% of my friend group. And now that I have left and I am back visiting, and I always knew that I would have this feeling when I did leave and when I would come back, I love it here so much more than I think I ever have, because I don't live here anymore. It's like, and this is why it's a tourist town, because people visit here and it's beautiful and you spend a little bit of time here and then you go back to real life.